All right, hello everyone on Zoom. We are just getting going live on Facebook, and we are also streaming this into our C&D Vibe Tribe. So hello, 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 as everyone is joining in. We are so excited to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One moment, we are just getting last few details going. All right, and a few more folks. One more folk joining in. So hello, welcome to the C&D Global Mastermind. We've got one more facilitator joining us as we work through here. So you'll see one more face pop on the screen, but welcome. We've got quite a few participants over here on Zoom. We are so thrilled to have you guys joining us today. And I know we'll have even more join us over on Facebook. So my name is Krista Moulter. I will, even though it says Declan here on the screen, there's two Declans. We're not actually twins. I'm Krista. That is Declan if he's over on my left. I'm not sure, maybe he's on your right as the screen's coming through. But we are so excited to see you guys today and to have you joining us for a little sneak peek into a mastermind. So before we get into this, I want to share just high level what a mastermind is, why we're so excited to be sharing this with you today, and what you can expect whether you're watching this live, which will be really exciting, or if you're watching the replay. So what is a mastermind? I know a lot of us have heard this term thrown around a lot over the past few years. And so we're really excited to share with you today the true essence of what a mastermind is. So a mastermind was something created 75 years ago by a man named Napoleon Hill. You may have heard of him. He wrote a wonderful book that has transcended time called Think and Grow Rich. And the purpose of a mastermind is for a group of individuals who have a variety of experiences, a variety of ideas, a variety of skills. When we come together and we join in a mastermind, meaning all of us come together and our minds all focus on one problem, one question, one idea, whatever is brought to the mastermind, and we become kind of a mastermind if you think of it in that way. All of our minds coming together, focus on one problem, one solution, one need, one idea. And when we come together, absolute magic happens. And so in the true sense of a mastermind, each of us would be bringing our own question that may be for our business, our personal lives, an idea that we want to have multiple minds think about and grow and expand in, whatever it may be. That would be the true purpose of a mastermind. And that is what we do every week with our own mastermind groups as well as together. However, today is really special because we have actually asked and received some questions in advance. And we are going to be masterminding on your questions, things that you have brought for us to mastermind on, to share. And the beautiful thing is we've got over 20 people here on Zoom. I don't know how many we have over on Facebook right now, but you're not going to just receive answers from the mastermind of those of us on the screen. You're also going to be receiving input from those who are watching this live as well. And we will be reading off your answers. So if you hear a question or you hear an idea or you hear a remark that someone gives on this mastermind and it makes you think of something, put it in the chat because we want you to be a part of this too, because it's richer. It's a richer experience. It's richer answers. It's just overall a richer really experience for everyone when we all come together in that mastermind. So that's a little bit about what this mastermind is. I'll get into how we're going to run it in just a moment. Before I do though, we want to do some quick introductions from all of these wonderful facilitators you see here. So our facilitators, all of these folks on this screen, they actually run their own mastermind. So they do what I'm doing right now, bringing a wealth of experience, excitement, and facilitation skills, of course, to a wonderful group of individuals. So I've already introduced myself. My name is Krista. I'm the C in C&D Global Mastermind Business, and I live out of Michigan. And what I love about the mastermind is all of the variety of experiences that come together. And truly, I have seen and I have experienced myself people quantum leap from one week to the next based on the answers they were given. So we'll go around the screen. We'll go Declan next, Adrian, Heather, Jess, and then Yelena and Duzin, and one more facilitator that will be joining. So Declan, you're next.
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Declan. Myself and Krista run C&D Consulting together, and this is our mastermind division. So excited for what you're going to get from this today. Perhaps you don't have a question right now, but in 20 minutes you may have. So pop it in the chat. I'm going to be moderating it. We've got 5 questions already emailed in that we're going to, none of the Mastermind facilitators know what the questions are yet. You're going to see these questions come to us and the answers are just going to come flying out from everybody. So I'm excited to welcome you today. And if you have any questions, type them in. We've got room for 3 more really good questions. So I'm going to be monitoring the chat, and thanks for being here.
Hi everyone, I'm Adrian. I live in beautiful Killarney, County Kerry in Ireland. My favourite thing about masterminding is all the different perspectives that we get from everyone that you wouldn't normally get in your day-to-day life, and just the answers and ideas that come out of nowhere as well. I just love it.
Beautiful. I'm Heather Fedewa. I live in Michigan. I happen to be on vacation at the moment, and I'm so happy to be here. The best part about masterminding would be the community and the accountability that comes with it. Incredible, unique perspectives, and just so much momentum to be had.
Hi, everyone, and I'm Jessica Doman. I am also from Michigan, and I am so incredibly happy to be here with all of you today. There are so many incredible benefits to masterminding, but I guess my favorite, if I had to choose, would just be the community of all of our different personalities and business backgrounds coming together, and really truly a meeting of the minds and sharing everything that comes to us in the moment, sort of rapid fire of ideas that we're going to give to everyone. All of you, you're going to see it today, tangible results for you to be able to take back and implement into your businesses.
Hi everyone, my name is Yelena. We live, Dushan and myself and our 19-month toddler, we live in Kerry, in Tralee. One of the best things for myself from Mastermind is that there's no idea that's too big. And definitely that's what I got from Mastermind. You can always go bigger, and you should always dream bigger, and you get this amazing support from your own group. So I hope you enjoy it.
Hey everyone, my name is Dushan. I'm Yelena's husband. We live in Tralee in Ireland. My favorite thing about Mastermind is definitely how your mind opens to new ideas while you're in this group of like-minded people. I hope you enjoy this webinar.
Hello everybody, my name is Alan Denhode. I live in Iowa, central United States. My favorite thing about the Mastermind truly is just that mind expansion, the possibilities that would never come to me outside of talking to someone else of a different background, of a different skill set, of a different mindset. It's just been so awesome, the momentum that I've gained for myself just in the different ideas that have come through the Masterminds. It's been incredible.
Awesome. All right, guys. So you've heard from all of our Mastermind facilitators. We are ready to go. So just so you know what to expect on the other side, whether you're on Zoom or Facebook. Declan, how many do we have joining us over on Facebook right now? Oh, I caught him unaware.
At the moment, last time I checked, it was 8 people. So we got like 30 people from all over the world here. So
welcome. And you also all heard probably we are global. We are all over the world on this Mastermind as well. So a few housekeeping things. What you'll see, because we are not in person and we're on Zoom, you'll see the facilitators raise their hand as an idea comes to them to share in the Mastermind, just so we don't overspeak each other. You'll also see me hold up really fancy written signs. We use this in our Mastermind, and they do as well, just so we all know when there's 1 minute left and when the time is out for that question. What we want to do is we want to make sure we give equal time to every question. If this was a true Mastermind where we weren't just taking questions, but it was each of us bringing our own ideas or questions, we would spend equal time with each person so that we don't lean too far into one and we jilt someone at the end of it, right? So we're treating our questions just the same. Each question has equal time. It'll be 5 minutes. And if you have a question come to you, again, type it in the chat on Facebook or on Zoom. And we've got 3 slots open for questions that come to us live during the session today. So with that, I'm going to get the timer going, and we are going to get going with our first question. You guys ready? All right, everyone. I know everyone's muted. Oh, also, y'all may see me like do some snapping and other people. This is our form of clapping, so we're not obnoxiously like killing everyone's eardrums when we're really excited about an answer someone gives in the Mastermind. With that, the first question, guys. How do you manage to stay positive and motivated when you're knocked down by the negativity of others? So again, this first question to the mastermind, how do you manage to stay positive and motivated when you're knocked down by the negativity of others? This was a beautiful submission. Thank you. I know it came through Yelena from someone here on Zoom. So with that, Declan, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, absolutely. I see this a lot. I saw this in my own life as well. And I would really start off by asking that person, like, do they have a goal that they're working towards? And it's not just a goal about getting something a little bit more. It's about really a goal that kind of gets them to dig in and get something out of themselves. Because when you're after a goal like that, it's like the first few weeks of a new relationship, you know, everything else just goes to the sides and you're just focused on your goal and you really stop caring about what other people think. But yeah, I'd love to talk to that person more closely, but that's something for a mastermind. You get to know each other better. But that's my first thoughts, is that, you know, have you got a big goal you're going after, something that you truly love? Because when you're doing that, you won't really care too much about what people think about what you're doing, you know. My second thing I'd like to say before I pass it over to someone else is choose your audience. Don't go telling everybody your idea. Keep it to yourself, or keep it to someone that you can, people who are going to boost you up, not pull you down.
Absolutely. Alan, and then Yelena.
Yeah, just to add what Declan said there, besides the goal, do you have anything else that you can go listen to that is a positive motivation, inspiration type YouTube videos? There's a lot of stuff out there. I know Bob Proctor's got a lot of good videos out there that will help inspire you into a more positive frame set.
That's great. Yelena, and then Jess.
What I would say is, what I personally do is I try to understand them and why are they so negative, because it's usually people who are negative, you know, towards something. They have some problem here. They have some unresolved issues, and that's why they're being so mean to other people. So I would just be very kind to them and show them love, and, you know, send love their way, because those people need it the most. And that's why you'll be able to focus on your own results and your own goals once you send the love out to them, because that means you're releasing all the negative energy between you and you're helping them become more positive, because they're probably not expecting you to show love if they're showing negativity. So I would send them love and then focus on your own goals.
Absolutely. Jess, and then Heather.
I would just say everything everyone has said has been incredible, but I would say I really, I take a step back and I go into a safe space for me when I feel like someone is descending on my good vibration that I've set, and I turn on something great, whether that be music and I dance my favorite song, or I put on a great podcast to listen to, someone that's super motivating, or I go and I read something from Dr. Joe Dispenza, or I meditate to get back to my center.
Oh, I love that. Heather?
That is awesome. I definitely put myself into a tunnel, and I'm a huge fan of gratitude journaling. So if you can force yourself to find 10 gratitudes a day and really work around the feelings of those gratitudes, you are going to be in an amazing space, a space where you can really ignore negativity and just kind of move on and find gratitude for other people while you're at it.
Absolutely. Adrian?
Yeah, so it's a great question. I have a couple of things. The first really simple one is, if I ever feel down, or, you know, you're just having a bad day, like I believe that you just can't be sad or angry or negative if you just force yourself to smile. It's a really simple thing, but like, just try it. It works. The second thing as well, like, you know, I try not to give a lot of time to negativity, but like, you know, some stuff is just there and you have to deal with it. But I find what helps is like, the understanding that other people will have different points of view than you have, and they're equally valid, but you don't necessarily have to take them in. But just that understanding that they're coming from a different place, they don't really understand what you're trying to do yourself. So they're my two main things.
I love it. Dusan?
Yeah, I'll just say that everyone has a choice to accept or reject a negative idea, and I definitely think that even though you might be surrounded by negative people, but you have a choice to stay positive and don't entertain the negative idea.
I love it. And coming down the home stretch here in the last 5 seconds, I will add a really great not comeback, but a really great response if you're live with someone is just the response, that's interesting, and then redirect the conversation. So with that, that's our first question. Don't forget, if you have a question come to you during this time, throw it into the chat on Facebook or on Zoom. We've got some open spots at the end reserved just for you, so we can serve you too. So question number 2, and the clock is on. This is really good. So the question is, your parents told you growing up, you did well, but you could do better. There's the context. How do you channel your ambitions to your personal dreams and goals and be proud of yourself if you're raised in an environment where you always believed you did well, but you could be doing better? Adrian, kick us off.
Yeah, so straight off, just surround yourself with different people, change your environment. You know, you can't change your past, but you can change your future. But really all you can do is, you know, live in the now and change. You can change your own circumstances to give you whatever you need. So that's my first thoughts.
Alan?
Yeah, for myself on that one, I kind of had that paradigm in my life in the past too. Really just the mindset reframe of that wasn't me, that was them. That was their belief put onto me. I don't have to believe that if I don't choose to. One of the biggest things that really got me thinking about this was when Bob talks about, if I want to be free, I've got to be me, and I got to know who me is. And it really have just really since then just been studying who me is, who am I? And that has really brought me outside of that paradigm of what I've been told I was.
I love that. And I want to add in here, as you guys heard Alan use the big P word, paradigm. A paradigm, all of us have paradigms. We operate by paradigms. A paradigm is a multitude of habits. It's a belief system in you. All of us operate. So you may have a paradigm around brushing your teeth with your right hand or with your left hand, right? We have a paradigm for everything. And so that belief, as this question was given to us, it's a paradigm that was passed to me from my parents. I did well, but I could have done better. And that's exactly what Alan was referring to. That was great. I think I saw Yelena or Dusan. Did I see your guys' one of your hands up?
Yeah, both of us. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, like when it comes to setting goals, it's really important that you set them for yourself. Don't let anyone else set them for yourself, because you're going to have wrong expectations of it. So that's my definite advice. Set your own goals and don't care what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, what I wanted to add is actually, again, from personal experience, like Alan said, it's probably their unfulfilled dream, and it's not yours to fulfill their dream. What I do personally, when I feel down a little bit, I just have a list of my huge wins, and I read that, like, you know, what was my biggest accomplishment? Something that when I read, I'm like, oh my God, I actually did this by myself. And you know what? I make other people happy. I make my family happy. I make myself happy, right? So definitely a win list to read every single day.
Oh, so good. So good. Declan?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, if it's parents or teachers or whatever, if we've had a negative influence perhaps, or that type of a story in the past, you know, they were perhaps doing the best with what they had. And if it's the same with friends or spouses or anyone, you know, your old buddies are like, what are you doing now? Why are you doing that? You know, sometimes like people don't really mind changing all that much, but nobody likes being changed. So when you start changing your life, you're changing them, because it's like, well, my relationship to him before was this way, but now that he's improving himself, it's changing me. So they don't know why, but they'll throw some crap your way. It's like we said, the previous one, you just go, oh, that's interesting. And you just keep going on and doing it anyway. But Dusan said it really well. A big goal will just get you going forward and put something on the other end of that goal about what it's going to do for you, and more importantly for others. And you won't really worry too much about it, but you can, as Adrian said, 1 minute left. Okay, cool. As Adrian said before, your past is definitely not going to be defining the future. I used to, before I got involved with a mastermind, I used to really look at people who were kind of born into situations a lot worse off than me. And I used to say, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But that kind of was a negative motivation. And when I started working with like-minded people and setting goals much higher, it just changed everything. And any mastermind I've been a part of, everyone has experienced that. You know, it's all about the group. So that's our advice there. I think it's bringing it in for the last few seconds.
Heather, did I see your hand up?
You sure did. I I wanted to say, find the positivity in it. You know, that's an incredible thing. You had people surrounding you that were pushing you to do and be better. And so if you love where you're at, the only thing better that you can do is just pull the positivity out, write it down, and find yourself in a really positive state, and maybe adopt some affirmations, some self-affirmations, honestly.
Love it. Perfect. Thank you for taking us in for a landing. And for those of you that have that are still listening, and everyone is that started, I'm really excited to share with you. If you continue to listen and get it and hopefully contribute, by the end, we are going to show you a way that you can hop on a free one-day masterclass led by Declan and I. So keep putting the input in. I see a bunch of comments coming. I see hopefully some questions coming in. We'd love to mastermind on something that you are bringing as well. Okay, question number 3. This is a little bit of a different question. I'm excited about this. So timer is on. All right, parents, open those ears. How do you speak to your children and make them listen to you? This is a great question. So again, we loved this question that came in because you can see you can bring professional questions, you can bring personal growth questions, you can bring a parenting question, you can bring a social media question, you can bring any kind of question to the mastermind. And everyone here is actually parents as well. So with that, I'll repeat the question one more time. How do you speak to your children and make them listen to you? Jess, kick us off.
Some of you might laugh. So there's this incredible parenting book. It's called Parenting with Love and Logic, and it's done wonders for our 4.5-year-old, and Krista as well. But it's giving them choices. And in fact, it works with your spouse and or even in your work environment. So you give them a choice, and it's never that children can't hear you, right? It's that they just don't listen. So you give them a choice, 2 choices, and they're in your favor. For example, would you like to put your Lovey in his room right now? Or would you like to put your Lovey up here on the table? So it's off of the floor. 2 choices that are in your favor as the parent, but still get the Lovey, which was on the floor, me to walk over, out of the way. So in your room or up here on the table, wherever you want it to be.
That is great. Alan, I saw your hand pop up.
Yeah, I was going to go kind of the same place Jessica did. And it's really age relevant what the questions are. The older they are, you allow them to make larger decisions. And the more you respect who they are, the more respect you'll get back from them.
Do you have an example of that, Alan, as you're saying that you could share? Because I know your kids are a little older than mine and Jess's that are in their toddler years.
Oh, yeah, even, as younger kids, to allow them to choose which clothes they're going to wear that day. What are you going to have for breakfast today? As they get older now, are we going to do this today or are we going to do that today? We're going on vacation. Where do you want to go? These are the kind of the choices. And you just didn't start to include what I would call a family mastermind, get everybody together and what's the input, and everybody wins in that.
I love it. Love it. Declan and then Yelena.
Just could you repeat the question again, Krista?
How do you speak to your children and make them listen to you?
The answer, I knew I had an answer, but I wasn't sure exactly if it was the right one for the question. But for me, I've really started to think about leading by example. So if let's say if one of them, was mean to the other one or upset them or hurt them physically or whatever, if I'm expecting them to apologize, then the way I look at it is if myself and my wife kind of mess up, or we say we're going to do something, we don't do it, or, let's say we do something and it makes the kid upset, say, look, I'm sorry, honey. If we are being genuinely sorry, if we expect them to be sorry to one another or to someone at school, then be prepared to be an adult that leads by example and not be too proud to get down on your hunkers and say, Daddy messed up, I'm sorry, or, something like that. So I think lead by example is another great way to get them to listen to you. I personally loved when I was treated with respect as a kid and not just talked down to all the time. So I think that's one that resonates with me.
I love that. Yelena and then Heather?
Yeah, it was actually Dushan before me. So
sorry, Dushan and then Yelena.
Definitely lead by example, because we have a 2-year-old and what she does is she just copies whatever we are doing. So you can't expect to sit in front of the TV all day and then tell her not to watch TV. So that's definitely my advice.
Yeah, I just add to have patience, because I watched the master class about parenting, is why toddlers like the horrible two, like they want to do things by themselves and they get frustrated if you don't give them the time to do it. So just be patient and be calm, because they hear your voice, and if they feel anxiety, if they hear anxiety, they will, act, the way you don't want them to act.
That's great. Heather?
So I highly recommend Love and Logic as well, but also the 5 love languages. If you know what your child's love language is, you can fill their cup easily, so that when they're asked to do something, you're not spilling their cup of love.
That is good. That is really good. All righty. So with that, we're going to head over to our next question. So the next one, question number 4. This is really good. And I will tell you guys, this question, we hear a lot, Declan and I hear a lot from our clients as well around this topic. This is a very big topic that a lot of people are thinking about and want to put energy into. So I'm really excited, Mastermind, for what you guys are going to come up with. And it is, what ideas does the Mastermind have around programs or products that an individual could create to serve the younger generations to become invested in their own futures, both as contributing citizens and being financially secure? So again, obviously this came from someone with a big heart. The question is, what ideas does the Mastermind have around any programs or products that an individual could take action on and create to serve the younger generations, for them to become more invested in their own futures, both as contributing citizens and being financially secure? Yelena, kick us off.
School curriculum, I think that's the correct word, because we don't learn about financial freedom in school. We don't learn how to think. We don't learn how to make choices, how to make decisions. We don't learn that. We learn maths and we never use it. We learn loads of information. We storage it here. We never ever use it. So definitely, like I saw Mind Valley has some programs they're trying to get into schools. So that's beautiful, meditation and, just definitely getting into schools, because we have to start them young. And then again, starting from your own family and your own children. And then when they're older, they will teach other children maybe in school and share the ideas.
That's good. Did I see your hand up, Heather? No. Alan?
Yeah, just following up with what Yelena said there, the curriculums in school, if any effort to change some of that more towards critical thinking, decision making, is definitely a powerful way of changing the future generations. For current programs that are out there, yeah, Mind Valley's got a lot of stuff out there. You just have to research. But really, the one thinking into results is not over the heads of most teenagers. To begin to really understand that we can change how we think by choosing what we think. We can change how we behave by changing the input that comes in. What are we putting into our minds? What are we reading? What are they interested in? What lights them up? We homeschool, so we don't have to worry about the public school curriculums, but we allow them to use their passions to drive what they're learning. If they're learning math and they're interested in aircraft, why not allow them to learn math through the physics of flight? What kind of math does it take for an airplane to fly? And they've learned so much just by doing that, allowing them to bring their passion and learn through their passion rather than trying to push information into them.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Adrian and Declan?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'd echo, education obviously is really important for kids, but not just on academic, yes and no is right answer, but on mindset. But something we did in school was we did made mini companies, and it really gave us a lot of lessons for like how to go about developing a product and testing its market and bringing it out in the world. And there's like, this is the thing about right now, like it's so easy to set up a company and sell stuff or provide services. And there's so much support out there for innovation and products. So like, I think the big thing we can all do is make sure that we're, as young people, we're enabling them to ask the right questions. From products and services point of view, it's a bit trickier, isn't it? But I would say, like, do what you know as well, or do what sets your fire as a light. If you work on something you're passionate about and you really love, I think that will go into whatever you develop.
That's good. Declan?
I'm going to do the gentlemanly thing and pass to Heather, and then I'll go last.
All right.
I would have really benefited from an early on mastermind. So with a teenage heart and an entrepreneurial spirit, and someone who was really afraid to step out and say, hey, these are my passions. And even if you think that they're really silly, I want to turn them into really lucrative businesses and services that help our community and that we're at a lack with. The mastermind is an absolutely incredible concept, and you can turn it into an educational concept, or you can you can use it, like what Krista said, for absolutely anything. And so when this question came up, product and services, I just think it's fantastic. Sorry, Dee.
So good.
That's okay. You know what? Can I use like presidential privilege and just 30 seconds? I just wanted to say that Bob quotes, our mentor Bob Proctor quotes Madame Montessori, and she said that they think that we send kids to school like an empty cup that needs to be filled up. And she was like, kids, like their cup is full. We need to harness their talents, their abilities, their powers, their dreams, their imaginations. I mean, I was so nervous a couple of years ago. I was doing 3 seminars back to back, one in Cork, one in Galway, and one in Dublin within 3 days. And it hit me, and I went, and I said it in front of my 9-year-old who was like 8 at the time. And she goes, what's up, Dad? That was a big sigh. And I goes, I'm a bit nervous about doing something new. And she goes, just be yourself. That's all you got to be, Dad. So I think we need to trust these kids a hell of a lot more and provide environment for them to absolutely thrive in. So great question, whoever posted that.
Great question. So we're coming up to our last question that we selected from the pre-group. Declan, do you have some questions that have come in from the audience for us to add in? Oh, you're on.
All right, we don't have any questions. We have a couple of comments. Rose O'Keefe said over on Facebook, I'm not sure exactly what she was responding to, but you know what? It's something you could read any time of the day. It's just a brilliant comment. She said, examine your internal intentions around everything that you do. And if you know that you're giving your 100%, whatever that may be, on any given day, then you can rest easy. And she closed it with a smiley face and then an exclamation point, and I absolutely agree. And then L. Scott Jackman just commented, wonderful. I think it was in response to our dialogue around one of the questions. So I'm grateful for that. Over on Zoom, then we had Amar and Ashwani here, and they wanted to ask a question about attracting social media to drive traffic in particular to ourselves. But I think it's good for anyone on here. We've got some amazing social media people on this call. So I think that's a question we can touch on if time permits. How do we attract social media traffic to our business? And I asked both on Facebook and Zoom, I asked if you are a member of the C&D Global Mastermind and you've benefited from that, let us know. And they said that they benefit on how to think and achieve 100 times results. So I think that's great in whatever business or whatever you're in. And, we mentioned business a lot, but we've people with us who are training to be authors. We've people who just want to really work on their mindset. People come to a mastermind for whatever reasons. It's not all about professional business type of growth and results. It really can be a personal journey as well, because you're going to share a problem that you have, and you're going to get like 20 solutions. As you've seen, we're just like talking over each other, trying to get in with the solution. So welcome everyone, and thanks for everyone who stayed on here. I think you're really enjoying yourself. So on we go. We can answer that question from Amar and Ashwani as well.
Perfect. So last question then from the pre-selected questions, not answers, but questions. All right. How, and this is going to make a lot of the mastermind smile because we discussed this a week or two ago in our mastermind. How do I raise my confidence so that I can raise my prices? So this obviously came from a business owner. How do I raise my confidence so that I can raise my prices? You've come to the right group. Yelena, kick us off.
So I just raised my prices and my class is fully booked out and I have a cancellation list. So, and I was worried about it, but I said, you know what? Everybody's doing this price. I just gonna go, you know, raise my prices because I know I'm worth more. What I would say is study yourself, do, you know, workshops, get some courses done, whatever will help you, you know, raise your self-confidence, whatever it is that makes you fall in love with yourself. And always think about the value you're giving to your students. So what I'm doing, like, again, personal experience, I will make my classes different. So everyone's going to talk about it. And then next year, I'm going to put my prices up again because I will give them even more value. So that's something from, again, personal experience. It's working. People love it. You just have to have the confidence to raise the prices.
And Yelena, what would you say is the worst thing that would have happened when you raised your price?
Nothing. I would have maybe half class full, and then again they would come, experience it, and they would spread the word, and then I would have full classes again.
Yeah. So even worst case scenario is not that bad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anyone listening to Yelena there, I mean, I think one of the best things that happens is you turn down that volume on that inner voice that's saying, oh, what will people say about me if I raise my prices? You know, they're generally not thinking about you at all. They're thinking about themselves. And that as much as that might sound bad and negative, it's really true. So charge what you feel you deserve to earn for the hours you're putting in. And as Yelena says, if you want to feel like you're getting value, like they're getting value, just provide more service. I got this book just to show you. This is the book Think and Grow Rich that we mentioned about Napoleon Hill. I had lunch in Toronto with two gentlemen. One was charging $18,000 to read this in a private closed Facebook group. So $18,000 per person for a membership group to sit and read it together. And the other gentleman was charging exactly $0 for the same service. So they both valued what they were doing. One of them just decided to charge $8,000 per person for it, and he was full as well. So I think that it's like a double question. How do I raise the confidence and raise the prices? It's evident, you just decide to do it. And then a very good how would be a thing called, like, Krista has a great challenge on Instagram where everybody says I am. It's the I am challenge. So they would look in the mirror and talk well of themselves and raise their own confidence from within. My last point would definitely be you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with. So surround yourself with a mastermind, obviously. And for the want of a better way of describing it, just be around people who are, what did one guy say to me one time? Be the dumbest person in the room. get around movers and shakers. We got some good questions coming in as well, so come back to me.
Awesome. Perfect. So Heather and then Dusan.
Hi, I seriously suggest studying your ideal client. If you know who your ideal client is, and you can tell yourself, hey, I'm already doing these things, I'm already adding value to them in X ways, and really kind of make a list on this and look at prestige pricing. The more your clients value what you're offering, the more you're worth to them. So I'm really no worries on charging whatever you think that you want to charge. Just toss a number out there. You're going to learn your worth sooner or later, whether you're tired doing it or you're super energetic doing it. You're going to be great.
That's great. That's great.
That's beautiful.
Over to Dusan?
Yeah, I think you need to study you, and the more you know yourself, the more you're going to feel confident in your ability to do certain things. Your confidence will go up, and then you're going to have that right feeling. You'll know how much you need to charge, but you have to have ability you have to have the confidence in your abilities to do it. But like, you're going to feel it in your gut level once you study you.
That's so good. Adrian?
There are really great answers there, and just to add, like, I think as well, if you set your bar too low, like, you'll attract that kind of market. So you really need to value yourself and your product. Like, if you like, I as well, like, aim high. So if you start off high, you can go low, but if you start off low, it's really hard to get it up high. So yeah, just value yourself.
Absolutely. We are about to time out. So Dee, take us in for the landing. 4 seconds.
Rose O'Keefe's going to bring us in for the landing. So she said, psychologically speaking, customers will perceive a product or service to be rubbish if the price is too low, and vice versa. So in essence, she emphasized that you have to charge more to make sales. And again, like somebody said, I would agree, and to attract your ideal client as well. So really good. I mean, if you want to, it's your choice really what you want to charge it at. We got some comments here. Can I read them out, Krista?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. We have had a lovely comment from Denise, who joined. Actually, Denise, so I'm a facilitator in a mastermind with Denise and a few other people who are on here as well. Hello, I won't name everyone out, but Denise joined a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I joined Declan's Mastermind 3 weeks ago, and I was doing this stuff years ago, and then I got led off track, and now I've come home to my energy, mentality, and emotionally. She goes, it's fabulous in my work, and she's very grateful. And I was grateful for Denise. Came back around to the second week, and I go around. So at the beginning, we'll find out what have the wins been. The groups are quite small, about 6 people minimum, 8 people maximum. And I went around the table. I was like, okay, guys, tell us your wins. And Denise, like, she goes, I don't know if you don't mind me saying, Denise, but she like a whole new bunch of clients in that first 7 days, which was a big quantum leap for her. So, you know, it's, you make a decision, you get around the right people, and magic starts to happen, because we're going to hold you accountable to those decisions that you may be putting on the long finger. And I think everyone is guilty of that whole P word, procrastination. You know, the mastermind helps you to stay accountable to your dreams, as we're probably going to dig into that a little bit more. So there's the 2 comments that I have, Krista, for now. I have
all right.
Time.
You have what?
I just have a couple of questions as well, if we want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is the time to transition. So let's do a few minutes on these new questions, and I'll hit the timer. And you want to read the first question out?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Amar and Ashwani, how does one attract social media traffic to their business?
Let's have Jess go and then Dusan.
Okay, great. So social media, I'm in love with social media. It's actually how I built my businesses. And I would say my number one tip when people come to me is I say, pick a platform, whether that be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and master that before you decide to move to another platform One, and master it, and then move down from there. There are a ton of trainings out there, but I say pick one platform, get really, really good at it, build up your following, build up your influence, and then move to another platform. I'll stop there and let all my other friends share.
Susan?
Yeah, I can agree with Jessica there about picking your platform. Personally, I like Instagram because it's all about the algorithm. And there's so many things about hashtags and things, like it would literally take me around 10, 15 minutes to explain it. But there's just so much to it. And if you want to know more, just add me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can just add me here, send me a question. I would be glad to help.
Adrian, that's good.
I'm going to go off ball a little bit here, like, and say, like, you know, why do you want to attract social media to your business? Hopefully there's a really good reason. Like, this actually came up in my mastermind on Saturday evening, and like, you know, when did we stop making phone calls to people and, you know, sending, like, you know, there's so much social media out there now, and like so much stuff comes up in front of our faces all the time. It all merges into each other. How about, like, if you had one really ideal client that you picked, and you actually like wrote them, even type out a letter, put it in an envelope and handwrite the address and send it to them? You know, they're going to damn open that envelope, because it doesn't happen that often. So like, hopefully that, I know it doesn't really answer the question, but hopefully it helps.
Well, and that's just it, right? The mastermind, we want to bring a bunch of different perspectives to it. So let's go, Yelena, Alan, Heather.
Yeah, I would also add, I love social media. Again, that's how I landed my first international masterclass with 100 people. Like, that's, you know, that's the way to go for me. But also sometimes when you take a step back and you just focus and try to manifest your ideal clients coming to you, I think that's what Adrian is also saying. Sometimes trying too hard on social media can have the counter effect of you putting too much of yourself out there, and it's not genuine, and people feel that. So you have to find the balance as well. And like Adrian said, ask yourself why, and maybe try to visualize and manifest your ideal clients, because that's what happened to us. We had our ideal client phoning us out of the blue, and I stopped all social media posts and stuff, and she just called me and she said, I want to join your mastermind. And, you know, it just, a lot of it's in your head and attracting ideal clients.
That's good. Alan, and then Heather? Yeah,
just real quick. I kind of do a combination with the social media posts, and then follow up, take the conversation offline. But really, as far as getting followers, be yourself, be your passion, put your passion out there. Don't try to put something out there that you're not, because people are going to feel it.
Yeah, that's what you'll get back.
That's so good. Heather?
I just suggest that you choose your voice, choose your personality. If you're, if people are buying you for the service, or if they're buying a product, your product has a personality of its own. And if you're sticking to that and you're consistent with it, you're not going to have an issue attracting people. It's when you step outside of being yourself or being the image that you'll find some confusion. It really helps to be organized.
Very good. And that's perfect. You took us down the home stretch there, Heather. Thank you. So I'm going to pass it back over to Declan.
Yeah, hey everybody. So just in case any of you would like to know how to join a mastermind, we're going to just give you a quick presentation here on how we do it. Part of this, at the end, I'm going to be talking about exactly how you can do a one-day masterclass, kind of like this, with Krista and I. It'll be over a full day instead. This has just been an hour webinar. So we're going to be talking about how you can do that right now. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen, and let's all cross our fingers that it goes along very smoothly. And pray. Okay, so I just want to make sure, first of all, that it's gone across on Facebook. I think we're pretty good. Okay, so the C&D Global Mastermind, as you've just experienced today, we work all over the world. I mean, we see Heather here. She's able to attend our mastermind from somewhere in the Sahara, where's the desert or the jungle somewhere, she's on holiday. You can attend your mastermind from wherever you are in the world. It is a global mastermind, and you are sharing your difficulties, your strengths, your questions with amazing people from all over the world. So it's a global thing. I know Alan and Adrian have clients in the Netherlands together on East Coast and West Coast of America. So it's quite amazing what we can do together when we come together. So I want you to write this down right now. I have posted in the group earlier on, get a pen and paper. Think of one major problem that is going on in your career right now. And again, if it's writer's block, if it's, my business left because of lockdown and my business is gone, my company's closed down, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm earning 70,000 a year and I want to double that. How? Whatever it may be, it's yours and it's nobody else's. Okay, so I want you to write what that might be down right now. Okay, and yeah. So I want you to ask yourself, how much is this costing you every single month? Okay, so when we think of cost, I want you to think about the financial costs. So write that down. How much is it costing you not to have this? So for example, when I was lost a few years ago and I got into personal development and joined the mastermind, I had the potential to earn thousands every single week. I was an acupuncturist, I had a wonderful clinic, and I earned well over 1,500 in one day, but I never replicated that again. So I had the potential to earn 5,000 a week, but I was only earning between 600 and 1,000, in the whole week. So for me being stuck like that, it was costing me thousands, okay? That was my financial cost. The non-monetary costs, ask yourself, what is that problem costing you on a non-monetary level, with stress, with worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, putting on a front in front of your family and friends perhaps? How's business? Yeah, it's good. Where are you going on holidays this year? Oh, I don't have the money for holidays. So think about the financial cost that problem is costing you and the non-monetary ones, okay? And write them down. And now I want you to spread that over a week and over a month, okay? Just multiply that figure. If it's costing you, 1,000 a month, then spread it over 3 months, it's 3,000, okay? So look at it weekly and monthly. And look at what we've achieved here today. So we're less than an hour. I think everyone will agree the time flew, but your mastermind is a much smaller group. Today we had 10 facilitators giving their opinion. You weren't live with us, but I know you got lots from listening to us, answering other people's questions. But every week, you will bring one key, strong, powerful question, something that you want answered that is going to get you into a situation, or something that you want answered that is going to get you out of a situation, okay? Strong, really important ones. So every problem has received multiple solutions today. What if you had this structure in your life right now, like from today onwards, that you are a member of a similar group, which is facilitated by one of the people you've heard from today? You can see everyone knows how to do this very, very well. So here's how you make this solution a part of your life, okay? It's a 3-month investment of $600 US, which translates, today's prices, it's 540 euros, or in British pounds, if you're watching in the UK, it's 480 pounds. So imagine what it's like having this every single week. You've got someone who's keeping you accountable, you've a group, and plus all of the people you've heard from today, we're all part of a closed private Facebook group of like-minded individuals. So even though you don't have your question being answered live, you can, any question you have all throughout the week, you can post it in our Facebook group and we will answer, and we will mastermind together virtually, live once a week and virtually all the time. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. What we're going to do is we're going to go back out of this presentation and we're going to, let's see if I got it there. Can I link it? I can't, maybe Krista and Laura might just link it in the chat now so you can sign up right now. The link is going to be in the chat over on Facebook, or it's going to be in our chat here on Zoom. So what I would say is also get back to the facilitator that invited you, because they can tell you how you can enroll as well. So you just click on the link, pick the name of the person that invited you. And here's a little extra bonus for you today, right? When you join the mastermind, all your major and minor problems will disappear. So here is a bonus for you today. For everybody who joins today, Krista and I are going to, in fact, the first 8 people, not everyone, the first 8 people that sign up, Krista and I are going to get you guys on a one-day masterclass, right? Now let's talk about the power of decision. I made a decision years ago to not invest in myself for 2 years. I spoke with a guy who has completely helped me to change my life and the lives of hundreds of people around the world in the company that I run now with Krista. And I've dodged this guy for 2 years. I spoke with him and I knew he could help me, but I was so afraid I couldn't invest in myself. 2 years later, I invested $147 into a 3-day online seminar. And since that, I've invested well over 6 figures in myself. I'm not saying you have to do that, but that decision to finally invest in myself and to get in with a group of people who could bring me to the next level changed my life completely. And I would argue that your decision to be on this webinar, to stay on this webinar, if you're watching back the replay, your decision to stay this long is something that you need to listen to. To become a member of this group, I know I mentioned one lady already who's joined. I'm pretty sure she got her investment back within a week if she got a few clients, as she told us she did. So your decision matters. And if you make a quick decision and you decide to become a member of the group, you're going to get what the next lady said. It's an exclusive one-day masterclass for Krista and I, and we call it the MAP Day. Now the MAP stands for a Massive Action Planner. So what we're going to do on the day of the Massive Action Planner is we're going to sit down with you, and pretty much everyone in the call here, facilitator, has been through the Massive Action Plan. We're going to look at your life. We're going to talk about 4 key things you want to achieve, and we're going to give you 20 solutions to each of the 4 key things. So on any one day, if you're feeling a bit stuck, if you're feeling a little left behind, if you're feeling a little unmotivated, you open up your map. A map shows you where to go, and you can pick any of the 80 ideas that you have brainstormed with Krista and I on, and your peers. So we have been told by people that this training was worth more than 800 euros that we paid for a business training day. So this is a woman that's near and dear to everyone here. Her name is Tara. And Tara and her husband paid 400 euros each to be in a masterclass. And when she did the map day, she said, oh my God, I can't remember what we charged for that. I think it was a tiny portion, but she said it was way more valuable than the 800 she'd spend. So you got an 800 euro valuable masterclass with Krista and I and 7 other of your peers if you take the decision and move ahead with us today. And yeah, one member said he got 4 new clients in their first week of the mastermind, and another person has reduced their working hours by 10 hours a week. So there's a lot that can be achieved by working in a mastermind, and I can guarantee you that you will feel so supported, focused, and energized more and more with every single passing week, and your results are going to increase week on week, month after month. We find it very easy to promise things like this because I know you've already seen it in this group. Imagine being one of those people whose questions were answered. You didn't just get one answer, you got 10 or 15 answers from everybody. That's what happens every single week. And you don't have to bring your worries, your doubts, your fears, and your anxieties home to your kids and your spouse or your loved ones. You're going to give it to people who are just going to give it right back to you honestly. We're not emotionally involved with you succeeding or losing, so we're just going to give you our best every time, and it's up to you to take our feedback and do the best with it that you can. Masterminding, I believe it's our vision at C&D Global Mastermind Division that everybody nowadays needs a laptop, needs a phone, and they're going to need to, the world is going to understand that having a mastermind is so vital regardless for personal or professional life. Okay, so I'm going to hand it back over to Krista, and let's see. The chat's gone in there. So Laura has sent the link in. You click on the link in Zoom. I'm going to click it. I'm going to put it in Facebook as well. You click on the link and follow the ways to register, and we look forward to welcoming you to Mastermind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have time for one final question. So Mastermind facilitators, if a question has come to you that could serve this audience today, or Declan, if there's another question that you'd like us to answer, raise your hand, guys, if you have one final question for us today to mastermind on.
I have one from Mr. Adrian O'Keefe. He says, I work so hard and I'm so busy. Maybe now this may have come through Adrian, okay? So it's Adrian popped in the question. It may have come from one of his clients. He said, I work so hard and I'm so busy, but I never seem to get a lot done. How can I get more done and get some more of the bigger stuff done? Love it. Great question.
Beautiful. I'm going to set our timer. Adrian, do you want to add more context to that?
Yeah, like the reason I put that in is it came up in our group on Saturday, and I just thought it was such a brilliant question that it can serve everyone no matter what they're doing. And look, I already answered that question, so I'm going to let everyone else here have a shot before I go at it.
No, go ahead, Adrian. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, well, look, the first thing I would just say is prioritize your time. You know, always do your most important thing first, or there's a book by Brian Tracy, it's excellent. Eat your frogs, or eat that frog. Get out of bed in the morning, and if you're thinking about that frog, frog isn't a very nice thing to eat, right? And it could be a task that you don't want to do, or that you're worrying about. If you're thinking about that all day and not doing it, it's going to affect everything else you're doing. So get it out of the way first thing in the morning and eat it, and then get on with your day and enjoy the rest of your day. So there's great tools to help you prioritize what you're doing every day. You can create lists and all this kind of stuff, but yeah, prioritize. Do your most important stuff first.
Alan, what do you have to add here? You guys, by the way, everyone on this facilitators group knows I'm biting my tongue because this is the kind of question that I get really juiced about. I have a lot here, so I'm going to keep biting my tongue. Alan, what do you got to add?
Yeah, there's another great book out there called Essentialism. It really is all about what in your life is truly essential. And the more you can realize that half of the stuff that you're doing really isn't essential to what your life vision is, it starts to make time management a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to add to what Alan has said too. Another way to think about it, you can't manage time. So if you think about every single person in this world, all of us have one thing that's an equalizer, right? People have different amounts of money. They live in different places. They have different types of friends and family and everything. They eat different foods. But the one thing we all have in common is a 24-hour clock, except for 2 days of the year, right? We all have that in common. So really successful people have no more time than unsuccessful people, and vice versa. And so when you start to think about that, you realize I can't manage time. I can only manage my activities. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what Adrian and Alan are adding in there is what are the activities that I'm managing? Adrian, do you want to add something?
Yeah, and it's all about choice. So you can choose what you want to do next, or do you let your email inbox decide what to do next, or whoever's ringing you on your phone, or what you're scrolling through on Facebook. It's all choice.
Mm.
Yeah. Yelena?
So many people are busy being busy and just running around. So like I think it all goes back to prioritizing, but it's also are you trying to keep yourself busy so you feel better? If you're I know I do that sometimes. I'm oh, I have to do this. No, I don't. And it's not productive. It's just keeping me busy because I have this feeling of accomplishment when I tick it off the box, sorting, I don't know, Maria's socks or something. I mean, it's taking me 15 minutes. But also going back to time you allocate to I know we spoke about this so many times and it helped me. So the time that you allocate to your task, you're going to fill that time. So you want to make sure you don't give it more time than you need to finish the task. So whatever you think you can do in 30 minutes, give it 20 and push yourself, go for it and get it done.
So good. So good. Heather and then Jess.
I think it's Brian Tracy who said, value your time and organize your life around it.
That's good. Jess?
I was actually going to queue up Adrian, and Yelena kind of said it, but Adrian, will you say what you say about work, time and work?
Oh yeah, work expands to fill the time allocated to it. Always. If you set a 1 hour task and you're giving yourself 3 hours to do it, it's going to take 3 hours.
Yep.
So I love this question that's come up, and Adrian, I'm so grateful you shared it, because we actually discussed this as a mastermind weeks ago, and I was going to ask Adrian to share that, Jess, if someone else hadn't, because Adrian drops this like beautiful mic drop. He's like, well, guys, you know, your work expands to the time you have to fill it. And we're all like, oh my gosh, that's so true. And it's really, I mean, again, paradigm. So we talked about a paradigm earlier from when Alan talked about it. So a paradigm is a multitude of habits, of beliefs. There's our timer. And if whatever that time paradigm is, if you think about shifting any paradigm by 1 degree, just a 1 degree shift, and that's what Adrian gave us. He just gave us a different perspective to think about work and time for work. Your work expands to fill the time you allocate for it. So as I think it was Heather, Yelena said, I think it was Yelena, allocate less time and just try it. Just try it. The worst that happens is it takes more time. Okay. But maybe the best thing that happens is you get a half day or a day off in that week. You get to go allocate doing something amazing with your family or friends or whatever that looks like. So great question. Guys, can we just stand for like another hour on this topic?
Well, that's how it goes. It flies, you know. What I love about masterminds is you're like, when you start looking at who everybody is, regardless of whatever mastermind, you start to understand like we're the biggest bunch of misfits that you ever got together, but it's how it works. You can learn, like you'll always hear these anecdotes in autobiographies from some of the people that we look up to and these influential people, and it'll be the little guy, it'll be the coach they had from football, it'll be someone that influenced their life. But you know, instead of looking back in your life and reflecting on that one conversation you had, you can have multiple conversations every single week. Like the power of masterminding is we have zero clue what's ahead of us tomorrow. Oh no, it's only Monday. So Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. I'm going to be sitting on that desk and 6 faces are going to light up my screen, and I have zero clue what's going to happen on that mastermind. But all I know is at the end, at 7:30 a.m., that's the time I do it. At the end, everyone kind of just goes off screen, stays in their office and spends a half an hour getting stuck into the ideas and the commitments that we made to one another. It's a life-changing thing, masterminding, and I'm grateful and proud that we're bringing it to so many homes around the world. Adrian, what did you want to say?
Yeah, just a beautiful point. And as well, like, you know, none of us here today, like, knew what to expect from this, you know. It was all new to us. It was a bit strange answering questions for someone, you know, the person we're not seeing in front of us, imagining. But, like, you know, for people who are watching, who's gonna stretch you in the next week or the next month, and who's gonna like call out your BS, you know, when you're in a group and you say something that you know isn't true, and they're gonna call you out on it. And these groups do that. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, I love the way you challenged the person that said, you know, about social media. I think it was our wonderful friend Amar down in Bangalore. So there is a global mastermind right there.
Yeah.
And why do you feel you need that? Because every single person on this screen, I kind of contacted them privately, and here we are working globally, and all you guys have amazing teams around the world working with you as well. So, you know, it's just phenomenal where it goes. And the thing is, nobody's the expert. Nobody's the expert. There is a facilitator. They're going to hold the time and space, because as you see, you need to be respectful with time, because if you're running over, you're taking from the next person. But apart from that, everyone's an expert, and you'll start to probably feel a little bit like, well, what could I contribute to a group? Just by being there, you're contributing, because you are going to open up and go, well, actually, do you know what just came to me? And that's the power of the mastermind. It comes to you live on the call, and it just benefits every single person. You have to experience it, and I know you've experienced it today and somewhat by being there. Krista.
Yeah, Alan, I just want to pop it over to Alan here.
Yeah, I just wanted to address the little comment there, the biggest group of misfits you've ever seen. Lisa Nichols says, "You make me extraordinary to let yourself off the hook." There is nobody that is more extraordinary than the you that you are. And whatever somebody else has done, we all have access to it. And sometimes it's just the mind shift of a mastermind that can make that little switch to allow you to that greatness.
Yeah, for me, the best help I got was having someone to share with. I worked by myself when I was 25. I'm nearly like 15 years, I'm nearly 40. So for 15 years, it was my wife, and I just didn't want to be bringing that stuff to her. So you suppress all the worry and you hold on to it. But a mastermind, you share every week. It's absolutely phenomenal. So as I said, I'm really proud of everyone that's on here and the work that you guys are doing. And Yellen and Dusan running one from their home there with their little girl. It's extraordinary what everyone's doing here, and taking the time to jump in from your holiday as well, Heather. So it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yelena, and then I'll take us in for a landing.
Just a quick one. You're not getting only solutions, you're also creating friendships, which is so important. Like, I know we became friends, like everyone from this group and people who are not on this call as well. So that's a huge thing for yourself. You're doing this for yourself, for your family as well. You're creating friendships. It's not only about business. This is much bigger than that.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on our first global live stream mastermind, wherever you are in the world watching. Amar and Ashwani, hi from India. I know we've got a group from Ireland and UK and US and Canada, and we're just tickled to be able to share this time with you. This is our normal time that we mastermind every week, this group as you see us here. So thank you for joining us. You've seen the links there in the screen in the chat if you're on Facebook or if you're on Zoom. Follow up with your facilitator. If this is really resonating and calling and speaking to you and you're looking for that next level of growth, that is why we've created this platform, is to serve people through that. So did you have one final thing, Declan?
Yeah, just a reminder, you know, it's so easy to go, well, that was interesting, that's funny, but take action, because myself and Krista, it's going to be in August, we're going to have that masterclass. And I know Dusan over there in Yelena, they came along with open eyes to one of those masterclasses in a hotel room back in the days. Remember back in the days when we could meet up together? And they just said it was such a catalyst for an enormous change in their lives. And so that alone is worth becoming a member, but I'm telling you, the other 3 months are just going to be phenomenal. So take fast action, be one of the first 8 people that we get to spend time with for a full day in August sometime. All right.
That's
so
great.
Thanks for being here, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, facilitators, as well. Thank you, guys. Bye, y'all.
Bye.